You know, I was reading about Trump's recent meeting with Akie Abe, and
Oh,
it's quite
really?
intriguing.
Intriguing? What happened in that meeting?
Well, apparently, they discussed the security situation around China and Taiwan, emphasizing it's a major issue for world peace.
That's significant. So he's putting a spotlight on Taiwan again?
Exactly. During their dinner at Mar-a-Lago, he even talked about his eagerness to negotiate a ceasefire between Russia and
Right.
Ukraine. It's like he's trying to position himself as a global mediator.
Interesting. But do you think his involvement can really make a difference?
Well, it's hard to say, but he seems pretty confident. He mentioned how he called on Zelensky to bring an immediate halt to the war during their meeting in Paris earlier this month.
Oh,
He's really
okay.
pushing for immediate action.
That's ambitious, but given the complexities, I'm not sure how realistic it is.
True, but you have to admit, his direct approach it's
Yeah.
definitely attention-grabbing. He even handwrote the word peace in a photo book he gave to Akie Abe for Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba.
Wait a second. Shigeru Ishiba? Isn't Fumio Kishida the current prime minister?
Oh, you're right. That's odd. Maybe there's some political shifts happening we haven't heard about?
I don't think so. Kishida is still in office. Perhaps it was a personal gesture?
Yeah, maybe. It's possible I misread that part.
No worries.
Anyway, it's interesting he's engaging with Japan at such a personal level.
Definitely. And with China ramping up military pressure on Taiwan, the stakes are getting higher.
Absolutely. Both the Japanese and U.S. governments are growing more wary of a potential crisis in Taiwan.
Exactly.
It's a delicate situation.
And Trump's administration seems poised to take a firm stance.
Yeah. He's even notified the Japanese side that he'd be available for a meeting with the Prime Minister in mid-January, before his inauguration on the 20th. He's not wasting any time.
It's like he's setting the stage early, laying out his foreign policy priorities.
Precisely. It's like he's trying to build a united front on these critical issues,
Right.
especially regarding China and Taiwan.
But I wonder if his assertive approach might escalate tensions further.
That's a valid concern. It's a bit of a tightrope walk.
Exactly.
Pushing too hard could definitely backfire.
It's like trying to balance on a knife's edge between deterrence and provocation.
Exactly. And in international diplomacy, that's always tricky.
Yep.
You have to be firm, but avoid igniting further conflict.
Do you think his relationships with world leaders will help navigate this?
It might. He has a knack for, making bold moves.
Yeah.
But whether that translates into effective diplomacy, we'll have to see.
True. And with the situation in Ukraine, it's even more complicated.
Definitely. Calling on Zelensky to halt the war immediately is a bold request.
Indeed.
Especially considering the dynamics at play.
It's not just up to Ukraine, though. Russia's actions are a huge part of the equation.
Exactly. Peace efforts require cooperation from all sides, and Russia's stance is a critical factor.
So, do you think his approach might alienate some parties involved?
It's possible. His style can be polarizing,
Right.
but sometimes shaking things up can open new avenues.
That's true. It's a risk, but it might pay off.
Exactly. And his meeting with Akie Abe could strengthen ties with Japan.
Yeah.
Personal diplomacy can make a real difference.
Speaking of which, it's touching that they reminisced about Shinzo Abe.
Absolutely, they had a close relationship. It's meaningful to see that connection continue.
For sure. But coming back, I'm still puzzled about the mention of Ishiba.
Yeah, me too. Maybe there's something brewing politically in Japan we haven't caught wind of.
Possibly.
We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Definitely. Staying updated on these nuances is important.
Agreed. International politics can shift quickly.
Exactly.
And small details can hint at larger changes.
So, what's your take on how this will impact U.S.-Japan relations moving forward?
I think it could strengthen the alliance,
Yeah,
especially if they align on strategies regarding China and Taiwan.
that's a good point. A united front could serve as a strong deterrent.
Exactly. It's like building a solid wall together.
Right.
It sends a clear message to potential aggressors.
But hopefully, it doesn't escalate into greater tension or conflict.
Agreed. The ultimate goal is maintaining peace and stability.
Exactly.
Which requires careful and strategic diplomacy.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how things unfold in the coming months.
Definitely. There's a lot at stake here.
Yeah,
Let's hope for positive developments and effective collaboration.
absolutely. Thanks for the insightful discussion.
My pleasure. Always great to chat about these important topics. We'll have to catch
Likewise.
up again soon.
Looking forward to it. Take care.